Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Margaret Rogers Van Coops. I'm making this video today because I want to talk to people who are having issues with their relationships. Now, whether that is a relationship, husband and wife, or mother to child, father to child, or friend to friend, or work colleague to work colleague, we're always in some way looking for reasons to validate that we have a friendship in the first place. We also spend a lot of time considering just how we're supposed to be acting and behaving in the company of this so-called friend. Often we're walking, as we were saying in England, on eggshells, on tippy toes, being very careful, walking around someone that we don't want to upset them, because if we do upset them, then we may have them leave us at worst, or at best have a raging argument, or be accused in some way of not being good enough in the relationship, and of course the list goes on and on. Over the years, I have, in my early years of course, studied psychology, psychiatry, and counselling and all these different things in England, and have travelled all over the world helping people with their relationships. And so what I wanted to let you know is that tomorrow night I'm doing a talk at our centre, Sumaris Education Centre and Clinic, that is Suite 202 upstairs. The address is 2060 West Tacoma, and in Lake Havasu City, I should say where. And so I'm kind of inviting anyone that comes from the area of Arizona entirely, to maybe some people who are from California, or other neighboring states who might like to make the journey here to enjoy Lake Havasu City while the sun is nice and hot and warm. And then come along and listen to my talk. But if you cannot do that, you live in another state miles away, that doesn't mean that you can't get my help. So I offer time with people who have relationship issues, either with one-on-one or with 2 or 3 people together, depending on what's going on. And we can do that online, of course, today with visual programming that allows us to communicate with one another. I do have fees, and also there are times when people don't have money, and as a minister I'm still able to help. So what am I about? I'm about listening to you, to hear you say, from your point of view, how you see yourself in your relationship. At the same time, I'm also able, from your spirit guide's point of views, in response, to show you or tell you in some way how you are perceived by your partner. Now, we tend to look out of our eyes at the world and see whatever we want to see, and then toss it around in our brain back and forth and come up with an idea, and then present ourselves to that person we want to work out the relationship with a lot of accusations, like you never hold my hand when we walk down the street, or you never tell me you love me, or something more simple like you're always in my face telling me I'm not good enough, I'm not strong enough, I'm not right, or so on. If you're a child, then you may be well in the ball game, as it were, of being tossed around between mum and dad, granny and grandpa, or whatever, saying that each has their own ideas about how you are to behave as a child. And of course there can be a lot of conflicts as to which person is giving you the right advice. So whatever your issue is, I can be there and I can help you. Locally here in Havasu, tomorrow night, that is Wednesday, where's my diary? Don't want you turning up on the wrong day. Wednesday the 20th, if I could read it, 21st I'm sorry, I should have been more prepared. I'm not in a bright light here. Yes, I'm sorry, I have to stop. Pause. So here I am back again, confirming it is March the 21st, and I'm going to be at the centre, Samaris Education Centre, to be available for anyone with a relationship issue to come and chat with me for a group session or with a partner. We have to see how this manifests. So what I'm actually saying is that you can have a private session with me, or you can have a group session, and either way you will understand and listen to a lot of input that will help you to go away and really process how you feel in your relationship. Now, the one thing that's very important to understand is a lot of people stay in relationships when they should really have left it. Now, I don't want to say that I'm going to be actually always saving a relationship, because sometimes my job is more to help you leave one. This is a time of transition and change, and there are many people who are aggressively seeking changes, alternative friendships, new kinds of work. Whatever is happening in your home life, it's going to affect the other people you live with. And those people in their own way may be saying they are excited that you're making changes and going on to do new things, but underneath they may be very afraid that those changes that occur in you take you away from them, leaving them feeling very insecure and unstable. Meanwhile, on the other side of the court, as it were, they are floundering around trying to find changes that they can make for themselves, which may in turn affect you, seeing them insecure and unstable, worrying about them, wondering what you should do for them, when in fact you should be leaving them alone to allow them to actually figure things out for themselves, because sometimes we're seen as interfering. There are many aspects to a relationship, not just plain simple, hey, there you are, I love you, I want you in my life. There's a lot of adapting. If people are ill and sick and you're the main breadwinner, there can be a lot of pressures on you to keep providing when in fact you're failing and you feel you're a big flop, as it were, and your depression is setting in, so we need to look at that. If you're a lone mother with children and you're trying to provide for them and you're working your buns off, as it were, and you still don't seem to be getting anywhere and the children aren't appreciating you, hey, it all starts with you. I have to teach you how to be appreciative of the fact that you are in their lives and they're in your lives and so on, and how you can appreciate yourself, to value yourself, build up your self-esteem, self-worth and value, and get on with life and do something that is fulfilling, which also you happen to get paid for, a career. Okay, so if you're dealing with an elderly, someone who's even in a home perhaps, and you're worried about them and they're passing, or letting go on them, or letting them be in a home where you know they'll be taken care of while you've been keeping them at home, sacrificing yourself, just trying to cope. This is a time to look at truths. This is a time to understand when you need to act and when you need to let go. I can help you with that issue as well. A lot of people also are suffering the loss of a loved one over the last year or so, and here I can help you with bereavement, in letting go of the memory of that person in the negative and holding on to the good parts of that person that you can then integrate within yourself to move forward, honoring their memory. So we can talk about that. I can even connect you with your loved one on the other side, if they've been over long enough and are ready or want to come back and talk to you. some people believe that because they've been in a marriage for 40, 50 years, that the other half is going to want to rush back and say, hey, everything's all right, I'm having a wonderful time in heaven. But the truth is, sometimes it takes a long time to process those 50 years, and they don't want to come back until they have, because they have to figure out who their spirit is and what they're going to give you from their spirit that proves who they are, and leave you a message with, hey, go on with your life and fulfill your life with new things. Other people have children that can't get along with children at school. The children are isolated, they don't know how to interact, they're nervous, they're afraid. Here we can help children to undo their self-hypnosis and allow them, with gentle hypnotherapy, to put a new suggestion in their mind that they can actually entwine themselves with other people, chatting and talking and playing games and having fun and so on. We have a lot of ways to help people in relationships. My husband and I, Stephen Van Coops, and myself, Margaret Rogers Van Coops, and several other therapists that we have at our center now are available to help you with your issues around the relationship problem. So I'm asking you yet again, please, if you know me well, to share this video, including my little message in the middle, because I really believe that we need to not be picture perfect. We need to show we're human, and we forget and we make mistakes, and I wasn't totally prepared. So forgive me for that, but in another sense, hey, I don't need your forgiveness. I need to laugh at that mistake and say, it's not about mistakes. It's about reaching out to share myself with you and say, hey, I can be your therapist, I can be your counselor, and I can be your friend. So please share this with anyone you know who needs help in dealing with a variety of relationships in their lives. So thank you once again for listening, and I'm very grateful and will look forward to your comments on this video, and also to your phone calls. So where will you call me? 928-733-3525, or write to me, Dr. Margaret, that's Margaret, RVC, my initials, my last name, Rogers Van Coops, @gmail.com. I'll say it again, Dr. Margaret, RVC, @gmail.com. Hope to hear from you soon. Bye. And don't forget, there's a free night tomorrow. Call me though. If you don't call me, I won't be there. Bye.